minutes in that they were able to pretty much put the last nail in the coffin against the Chiefs, and that is very, very early on in the very first game of the IWCQ. But we are into Champion Select, as Sivir is going to be the first ban. Albus NoX, with a lot of flexibility, can ban away whatever the heck they want, because things like that have to happen, Mr. Daniel Dracos.
Got to take it away.
Yep, got to ban it.
Have to see if Bard is going to be the next ban, and I'm curious with KMV now on the red side, they've been prioritizing first pick for their jungler a decent amount of the time. A lot of times it has been Nidalee coming in for Julio Stito. I'm wondering if they're going to step away from that.
They have to, because it's been banned. One of those things.
And this is, a good sign from Albus NoX Luna. They disrespected their opponents a little bit yesterday, gave that Fiora the opportunity to push in, and they're clearly, giving Chaos Latin gamers the respect they deserve, even if they are looking like a team that's down and out.
And it's actually interesting, thinking back to the hard random days as well. I remember Smurf as being a bit of a Fiora player himself. And he may have seen what Elwyn did to him on the champion. He's like, well, guys, come on. I can play it again, right?
I like that. I personally, the play-by-play in me is like, yes, yes, Atlas, let's do it. Fiora, Aurelia top lane. Like, that is all I want to watch.
Maybe not first pick, right?
Well, and the other thing is, you brought up a good point when we talk about the Bard and the Brand, is that so much are left open when you ban away these picks.
Well, do they have to ban Bard now as well? Is the Gangplank going to be getting through?
Well, Gnar is still up and available as well, as
one
is
of them
Shen, Elise, Rek'Sai, Gragas, and it seems
Vladimir.
KMV, they're taking away the picks that they want to deal with the least, but the issue is that so much of the pool is still wide open that, the good news for KMV is that they're guaranteed to get a good first rotation because there is so much that is open, and the question now on Albus NoX's side is, what are they going to prioritize here? I think they can go for the Bard, but we also haven't really seen Bear show anything too amazing, so picking the Gragas here as they do lock it in, I think is a smart choice overall.
Yeah, so PvP Steos going to get that early ganking jungler into his back pocket. A lot of options now for Element towards the top side of the map. We know that he does favor things like the Gnar and the Gangplank. It was what he played primarily in his final, I believe. The Echo there as well does stand out as an option, as Julio Stito has been trolling the Fox with this hover for the majority of the tournament.
Karma would be an interesting one here. I don't think they're going to opt for it, although the Chiefs did pick it up, and I think it is still powerful. I think the best rotation for these guys right now is probably Gnar and a high priority AD carry. Maybe Ashe here, but there's also options to go for the jungler. You've seen Gragas locked in. If you don't want to give anything away, you can go for the Elise or the Rek'Sai. Personally, I would love to see Elise. KMV seem to me like a team that really need to win lane in the early game if they're going to transition it into anything greater, and I think that pick would be solid, but instead they're going to mix it up.
Well, this is, if you ever want to be able to try and win an early game, pick Lee Sin. Enter the enemy jungle and see whether you can just kill the fat man throwing barrels around. And I like the idea.
We've seen Tussle pretty much solo carry a game as Lee Sin. So it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility that Julio Stito is about to step up here and put the team on his back. But, of course, the downside with picking the Lee Sin here is that there's still so much up and available for Albus NoX. And
look at all of these picks, man. Like, there's so many things that they can grab. Of course, Bard, almost permabanned against the crit. Like, the fact that he will be able to get that and they'll be able to also get Gangplank on second rotation blue side, pretty silly. Will mean that the Bard will still be available for Element if he wants to go towards it.
And it's interesting. I'm really wondering what they're going to pick here because I think Gnar is still up and available, and I think is the better choice. And I don't think they need to put priority on their AD carry. I like the Bard. I'd love to see Bard Gnar here. But I think they're going to keep the Jhin.
Actually, don't mind locking in, your bottom lane plus jungle. Doesn't give away any of your solo lanes, means you get at least one counter pick, unless they play with some pretty fancy Karma flexibility right now.
Which is interesting, and I'm curious as well if the Karma is going to go mid lane or AD or as support. I much prefer the support Karma. Gives you a strong early lane, and additionally mid Karma just doesn't feel very impactful, especially since the most recent set of nerfs, but I like that we're talking about saving the solo lanes. I like that Albus NoX are giving that respect over to KMV, but I really feel that Gnar is so powerful right now.
Yeah,
so
he's
obscenely
very
powerful.
good.
There is no reason not to pick up Gnar here. I think he is one of the safest and strongest blind picks, but KMV are instead going to prioritize the Gangplank.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of mind games here with that Gangplank hover that lasted a very long time from Kira. He's going to be picked up by Element, though, and I mean, out of the two, I feel like he's probably more comfortable on the Gangplank and does give them that late game insurance policy that you may not necessarily get with a Karma Lee Sin composition.
And really just, I would argue questionable priority from KMV, but maybe they have a very set strategy in mind because Ezreal Karma can be a strong early game lane, but the second Ezreal has to go back and buy a tier, it's losing already. And additionally, the Gangplank, this is a free Gnar pick if they want it. This is a free anything pick into the Gangplank, technically.
Echo has been considered the option into Gangplank a lot of the time, although Gangplanks do still tend to win those matchups sometimes. I'm thinking back to a specific LCK match that happened recently.
Hey, sometimes you can outplay. Sometimes you can steal a Baron on 2 HP.
Mm-hmm.
The world is your oyster when you're GP. You've got so much available. But Albus NoX are going to finish out their composition with the Echo as well as the Malzahar. I don't mind the Echo here. I still prefer the Gnar, but Albus NoX, I think this is also pretty much anything is a good pick in the hands of Smurf. And if you ever get a lead with Echo in the early game, the champion is just ridiculously oppressive.
Yeah. Not to mention the fact that they just have so much pick potential with this composition, plus flexibility in their team fight, what with the Tempered Fate, as well as PvP Steos having so much ability to just knock around everyone, cause chaos as soon as anyone's singled out. Then Nethergrasp on top. You've got Curtain Call coming from the backline, and you've got Echo with infinite chase.
And really,
just a beautiful meta composition, right?
I really like the setup, especially with the Bard Tempered Fate against the GP, because it's one of the few things that he can't just orange out of. So it makes really easy setups to take out GP if he does become a threat. And additionally, the Karma and Ezreal are very mobile, but like you said, all of these tools to start the fight off are going to make it very easy to lock down these otherwise very mobile picks. But KMV, continuing to mix it up here in pick and ban.
Yeah, so it was Vel'Koz before, and now it's Ziggs in the mid lane for Plugo. Of course, he was playing Karma the last time we saw KMV earlier today, but decides to step away from it. It's going to be the Ezreal Karma lane. And yeah, Ziggs, interesting option. Of course, does have a lot of range and a lot of wave clear against the Malzahar. I can understand why you'd make the decision.
Really interesting. I mean,
you have a very perplexed look on your face, Sifa.
This is a very odd team composition. This is not something that I've seen in a long time, and I have to assume that they know something that I do not, because I don't have the information here.
I've got it.
You've got it.
It's the circle. The circle of doom that you now have with Cannon Barrage and Mega Inferno Bomb.
I like it.
Because that's ridiculous.
And Lee Sin tries to leave, and you just kick him right back in.
Yeah,
right?
exactly right. And he just plays Doorman. Says, no, you're not leaving this time. You are staying in this circle of death.
Sir, I'm going to need to see some ID.
Yeah, and then, look at it for a little bit, and then they're just dead. Let's be real. But I do like the idea. We'll see whether the execution is going to come out, because we have theorized a lot of these KMV team compositions, and honestly, I feel like they have come up wanting most of the times that we see them. And on the other side, I mean, it's just severely standard picks in every single role here for Albus NoX Luna.
Well, we say severely standard, but they're also picks that each of these players have looked incredibly powerful on.
Yeah.
The Gragas, the Echo, looking as we get into game here at the Bard as well. Even the Jhin for a Miracle has been good. And on the opposite side, KMV continue to mix things up, and we have yet to see them find success here. So maybe this is the final set of picks. Maybe this is something that they are truly comfortable with, that they're going to be able to execute on, that they can finally show us what they're made of, because we just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, they've just been looking for the recipe to success and haven't quite found it. But like you said, onto the Rift. And you can already see Albus NoX Luna. It's the first time we've seen an early invade.
This is really
I
good.
am ready for it. His element is going to be what he will have to flash. There's the Meep Slap immediately hit, as well as the Cosmic Binding doesn't get the stun. But big flash early on. And a Gangplank without a flash. It looks like something PvP Steos likes the idea of.
I think exactly. And Smurf is going to have a very easy time in this lane, just pressuring out the Gangplank. And now, as you said, PvP Steos is going to make it that much easier if he does decide to come top. But I like the response coming in from KMV. They do get a bit of vision down. They'll see if there's any early attempts on Krugs, and of course give them more information on the Gragas jungle pathing, which will free them up to play a little bit more aggressive in lane. But the downside is that I don't really think Jhin and Bard need to start the Krugs anyway. It makes more sense for them to try to contest Gromp. However, since they're getting back to lane late, it looks like they are going to opt to go for the Krugs and try to match the XP advantage that the Fox and Bear are going to put together.
Yeah, of course, the Bard level 1, so incredibly strong. Cosmic Binding is good against Krugs, because you do get the double stun, which is cute.
Solid start, of course. We don't usually see range supports take this just because of how vulnerable they are and how much you have to give up, but when both sides have a range support, it's not going to be too much of a loss. They'll be pretty much even there.
Well, you can see. Vote is in. Albus NoX Luna getting a little bit more of the fan vote, but 57% to 43 is still definitely good news KMV sitting on 0 and 5 for the moment. Kira gets his shield popped there in the mid lane, but I assume that to happen most of the time that it's up, because Zig's pretty frustrating.
I think the two lanes that we have to keep our eyes on are going to be top side and bottom side, because the mid lane is going to be a farm fest. Ziggs is going to throw bombs. Mouse is going to make minions.
Throw voidlings, yeah.
Kind of place. Not quite a throw. He's going to place voidlings. They're both going to push the wave. Once level 6 rolls around, once these guys have enough damage, it might be a different story. But for really got to keep our eyes on Stejos and Julio Stito, because they're going to decide which of these lanes are going to have the opportunity to get aggressive. But interestingly enough, KMV taking control in the early stages here, utilizing the XP that they get, and taking control of the lane. That's a good look for KMV.
Yeah, I think it's really good, as well as utilizing the extra wave clear that Akama does provide. So that mantra really helping out there. Julio Cito will find himself possibly the Rift Scuttler here as he moves down towards the bottom side. PvP Stejos now starting on his red buff.
Yeah, just going to leap over. Maybe
that's what I'm talking about. Looking for the early invade. Not going to see anything as PvP Stejos is now the easy steal. Should be able to come in. We'll see whether he gets it. Steals away the red buff. And now PvP Stejos in a whole heck of a lot of trouble. Are you just going to escape, though, Julio Cito, is the question. Body Slam comes down, and Ziggs does get the inside track. Good. Silence is going to come in as the... Yeah, Malefic Vision's not quite going to be able to net the kill. So 100 health, Julio Cito gets out with a red steal as A Miracle has to flash out of the way and gets himself a little parcel for some extra health.
And this is a good trade overall. PvP Stejos forced to come to the bottom lane to respond to the pressure that Fox and Bear are putting down, but they essentially trade the flash of the Lee Sin for a Miracle's flash, and additionally, I mean, the only downside is that Julio Stito should have to back off to continue his jungle clear because he took so much damage, but Lee Sin is so strong early that he's still able to take another camp before being forced back. And I mean, it's a small advantage for sure, but advantage to KMV,
Whoa.
And now maybe more.
Speaking of which, the heal does come down as the Fox takes a lot of damage, but it's not enough. Gets the kill onto Licrit, and this is a bottom lane that constantly gets banned away from these guys. Taken advantage of.
And I'd really like to see this play. This is the point in the game where Ezreal is going to be strong. No items on either side means he doesn't have to worry about the deficit tier puts him in, and the aggressive trading keeps coming in. You know, a Miracle and a crit, not giving the necessary respect to their laning opponents, and that's a good look for KMV. This is one of the first early game leads they've had.
Exactly right. Every single summoner spell used, none of them working out there for Albus NoX, so... See whether they can move forward. There's the flash body slam, though, towards the top side. As Element's in trouble. This is what we're expecting, as he didn't have his flash. It's going to be capitalized on by PvP Stejos.
Yeah, good play coming through. We have to remember, of course, that, as you mentioned, the flash not available. We didn't see PvP Stejos immediately go top, was interrupted by the early Lee Sin pressure, but remembers, thinks about the flash timing, finally shows his face top, and I think a little bit of a misstep there from Elements to not respect the potential for that gank, but good coordination and execution on the side of Albus NoX to pull out that early lead.
Yeah, I like the idea that, you know, PvP Stejos was like, nah, bottom lane, don't like it. I want to go back up where there's easy kills possible, and that Gangplank early on, no matter who's playing him, it's very difficult to stay alive.
Has got the early Sheen. This should make early trading a bit easier, but Smurf has Corrupting Potion as well as the Dark Seal, so he's not too concerned. Gangplank level 6 will make this lane a little bit better overall, and also will just help KMV out in terms of global pressure. But speaking of approaching level 6, we have to keep our eyes mid, because when Malefic Visions comes online, it does free up a lot of opportunities for PvP Stejos to make his presence known.
Julio Cito is going to make his known a little bit earlier. Just going to love tap Kira.
Yeah, shows up, doesn't even love tap Kira, love taps the ground a little bit.
Ah, yes. Was thinking about it. Wanted to, I believe. I felt that there was love in the air.
He's getting frisky.
Yeah, exactly. As a Miracle, once again, a lot of aggression. He's going to get snared as the Fox taking a fair bit of damage back. And does disengage. Good Inspire as well from Bear to make sure he doesn't take too much damage, but pressure is on here.
Yeah, and good positioning coming in from Licrit to deny that Mystic shot. That trade had gotten any worse. We may have seen an all-in coming in, but Bear quickly approaching that Ignite cooldown, so we could see another opportunity to go all in. And Stejos is on the top side, so a lot of freedom to get aggressive here in the bottom lane for KMV.
Yeah, may actually walk over one of these wards that is littering the top side of the map as well. Could possibly spell aggression out of KMV that we'll know then exactly where the jungler is. Everyone known and accounted for on this map. This Element doesn't want to take too much damage there.
No, and I like that Element is continuing to step forward. He's not playing scared, despite the lead that the Echo has managed to build up. Knows that he can still come out on top in those trades. Not letting himself get pushed around too much, which is important. We expect Gangplank to lose this lane, but the margins in which you lose are important. If he falls too far behind, it could be devastating, but if he stays about even, it's just going to be in the favor of KMV as we go later and later.
Cheeky little Sonic Wave is going to land there under PvP Steos, at least providing some vision. Kira continues to farm things out, but he's falling behind Plugo. He's going back to base. We'll see what he's going to be able to pick up, whether he has the Morellonomicon done just yet. Where's Tito now on top of a ward.
Good spot to be.
Take down the red.
For Steos. So of course, both junglers spotted out. Malzahar is going to get tributed this blue, which will delay a little bit for the Gragas, the level 6 timing. However, Lee Sin, of course, should be getting level 6 off the red buff. Oh, not quite. Both junglers not quite where they want to be in terms of experience gain. A lot of that aggressive early play kind of costing them.
Yeah. Well, speaking of aggression, more towards the bottom side. It's Julius Tito now seeing whether he can get anything done onto Smurf.
And this is where you got to question Element's acting. If he was always this aggressive, it's good acting. But if he suddenly got aggressive for no reason, it's going to be so easy for Smurf to kind of sniff this one out. You can see suddenly he's playing very far back. You know, pretty clear that they're aware of the potential Lee Sin pressure.
Yeah, so definitely not Johnny Depp. There's this guy towards the top side. Is Kira. Clears out of ward. Juliusita going to head back to base. Plugo. He's got himself an extra Doran's ring. What was that last chapter? Some boots.
Yeah, and keeping up so far in the mid lane, the question is going to be how these guys transition out. Neither of these mid laners extremely proficient at roaming. They shouldn't find an opportunity because they both offer so much wave clear, and neither one really comfortable in side lanes. This is just, you know, a pretty interesting, I would say, standardized sort of control mage matchup. But coming to the mid game, Ziggs is a big question mark for me because we just have not seen him in so long.
I feel like it's all about this Cannon Barrage Mega Inferno Bomb combo. With the semi-global plus fully global. As there's a Cannon Barrage, that's the first portion of it. Liquid and A Miracle take a lot of damage, but no dive. PvP Steos was coming down.
Yeah, PvP Steos on the way, and additionally, Julio Stito, you know, has the opportunity to set up kind of the insect play there, but doesn't pull the trigger, and I think that's, you know, a smart choice because it's so easy for Liquid to just flash backwards and line up the Bard stun, but Plugo in trouble.
Speaking of backwards, Plugo's going to head back towards the enemy base, and it is going to be a second kill here for Albus NoX. As the Ziggs falls in the mid lane. It looks all too easy with that Nether Grasp. There's a curtain call on the bottom side. Fox completely out of mana. They're just blocking the bullets, and that is a lot of damage, yeah, from that fourth one.
Yeah, good communication from Bear and the Fox to block that out, but at the end of the day, Steos with this, you know, now on the bottom side, they may look to dive here. Do have an opportunity, but got to give respect to Julio Stito.
Yeah. He's going to beat the heck out of this Gromp for the moment. No one is going to give him anything. As Fox still completely out of mana. The Meep Slap does so much work. Exactly right.
Yeah, Bear running forward, though, just trying to stop any aggression. Good use of the Karma early scaling. She, of course, does just a large amount of damage. Nice.
Tempered Fate. Last amount of mana for the Fox is going to be used to get himself out of the way. A nice flash from Bear.
And a rare fumble from Licrit. That stun is 100% guaranteed if you time it perfectly, but Licrit with just a little bit of a fumble means that Bear gets to walk away with his life. You saw, you know, multiple members ready to make a play there.
Well, Bouncing Bomb gets rid of the shield. No Sonic Wave to land there from Juliusito, though. Akira survives for the moment. Still has his flash, of course, so no funny business available. Lucidity Boot's done here for the Ziggs, who's just been heading back and forth from base quite a lot. Trying to grab as many bits of items as he possibly can.
Of course, Lucidity Boot's going to make it easier with the Ghost and Flash, has the extra mobility. Now with the blue buff as well, means he's just going to be able to keep pressuring the Malzahar, but is delaying a decent amount of his damage with the Lucidity Boot's start.
Just love Ziggs. Just looks like he's so haphazardly throwing stuff around.
And honestly, it's been a long time since we've seen Ziggs. That skin wasn't around the last time Zigg was in meta, so it does warm my heart a little bit.
He is having a good time.
Yeah.
Because now he's dealing with Voidlings, so he's not having a good time.
They're
but
bigger
we
than
are,
he
thankfully.
is.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
it's just so cute.
It's like Malzahar versus Teemo. It's one of my favorite things. It's like, yeah, my little guys are the same size as you. Juliusito flashed on top of Kira, but doesn't actually find the kick.
Oh, Steos, I think he's done for.
No, nice good flash gets him out of the body slam. Now looking for the barrels, but that's an explosive cast. And PvP Steos says, yes, dodge that.
A little too big.
Yeah.
Gangplank, he ain't that tiny. He ain't going to walk away. And this is really good for Albus NoX if they want to continue to apply pressure here. Julio Stito's going to try to stop this, but Tower First Blood is pretty big.
Yeah, wanders over a ward there as well, so NX able to do exactly what they want. Judge the situation as they see fit. Oh, body slam, not going to connect, but there's the teleport. Smurf makes his way back in. A Miracle flashing out of the way. The True Shot Barrage as there's the curtain call. The Fox, can he actually get the work done? There's no more body blocking for Bear. The flash used. Don't even think that last one was going to land, but big Summoner Spell now gone for the Fox.
And this is just excellent, confident play coming in from both sides. KMV, you know, we didn't expect much out of them, but their bot lane is going toe-to-toe with ANX without hesitation here. And I got to say, a lot of this is the aggressive play coming in from Bear. He has been absolutely lethal on this Karma thus far.
Yeah, always in front of the minion wave almost every single time. Throwing these Qs, getting rid of A Miracle, making sure that he can't play aggressively. Almost has his Ghost Blade, though, so it will be a big item spike for the Jhin. See whether that's going to turn things around, as Liquid just has not been able to roam, has not been able to affect the rest of this map, because this lane has been so volatile.
Yeah, and I think looking at it as we move forward, of course, Jhin is going to be pretty happy with the Ghostblade pickup, but Ezreal's very close to the Iceborne Gauntlet here, and it's going to make it that much easier to keep the trades rolling.
Well, speaking of trades, a little bit late on the Arcane Shift, but not going to be taking too much damage. What the hell just happened?
I see that one again. I didn't see where the grenade bounced. My eyes weren't even watching it. But
that would have been so high in the sky. As now Bear is going to stun up Liquid for the moment.
It must have killed two. It must have killed all three targets before it bounced to Ezreal. I cannot imagine it doing enough damage any other way. But
I didn't even see him close enough to get hit by a grenade. I'm gonna need that super slow mo.
Yeah, we're gonna want to take another look at that one at some point. But nice kill pickup. That's not exactly how you expect to play-by-play a kill at any point, but there it is.
Uh-huh.
Whoops, he's dead. So
he just sort of popped. He was like wandering back, and he was like, hang on, no, I'm dead. Sorry.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, the good news is he has enough money to complete the Iceborne Gauntlet, but now Jhin, of course, is able to finish up the Ghostblade, and things just get harder here for the Ezreal. Really needs to wait on that Muramana power spike before he's going to be able to trade effectively, and Jhin just continues to be scary because has the 1-item spike for Jhin is good, the 2-item spike for Jhin is good as well, and it's going to be rough for a little bit for the Fox.
Well, still, it's not too much more money before he does have that 2-item spike that Ezreal does love so much, so should be able to just weather the storm now with a lot of extra utility.
Yeah, but unfortunately, weathering the storm is the story across the map.
Well, connects. Speaking of which, that's a storm with a lot of golden stuff coming down as he misses another Cosmic Binding. PvP Kaos isn't, though, and that is the flash out one more time from Bear. 400 health, running away. Should make it to safety as Julio Stito, seeing whether he can protect his support. As there's the stun onto the Fox. Curtain Call comes in as well, and Liquid picks that one up. Julio Stito, fantastic kick across multiple people as the Curtain Call has worn off. And Albus NoX can't find too much more, but it's 5-1 in kills all of a sudden. And it's close to a 4,000 gold lead.
And good confidence coming from Albus NoX. They know they're stronger right now. They're not afraid to push these advantages. You know, KMV forced to pull Gangplank down as well, and we didn't even see the Cannon Barrage in that exchange. It was honestly just members getting deleted by the sheer power of this composition. And between Gangplank and Ezreal looking really weak right now, and Ziggs kind of being a question mark, things are not going to get easier for KMV.
Well, there is the Cannon Barrage, so stops that turret from falling down. No second tower. Yeah, Albus NoX.
When we look at KMV right now, they just need to stop the bleeding as much as they can. Ziggs is going to be more of a threat as they move forward. Gangplank as well. Both these champions get very scary. Ezreal, as I mentioned earlier, waiting for that spike onto items before he'll really be able to compete. So at this stage, they just need to get what defensive wards they can, be willing to give up dragons, be ready to contest Barons, but don't really look for any aggressive plays here, and don't be afraid to give up small objectives in the name of taking this game later, because you have the scaling in your favor. You just need to make it that late.
Yeah, the Gangplank insurance policy. Julio Stito wants to get to that point where that one kick's going to make everything the difference. I just feel like the mid-game power that you have with this roaming squad of Albus NoX players is so scary. As there's the exhaust onto the Fox. Does get over the side. Avoids getting stunned up by the deadly flourish as Bear now looking for a snare onto Liquid. He's going to find it there as well. As Julio Stito stops the aggression.
He's going to have enough time. He's going to have enough time.
Oh my god. Smurf takes down Plugo meanwhile. And there's the kick to the head as Julio Stito is able to get the work done. And A Miracle falls down as well. There are fights everywhere, but NX look to try and capitalize.
So good coming in, and I feel bad for Lecrit because he gets the perfect Bard stun, but the input buffer from the Lee Sin means that the animation goes through. He does manage to connect the kick, and he's going to grab the kill in the end. But while all this is happening in the bottom side, ANX are already pushing in on the mid lane and are looking for a tier 2.
Yeah, PvP Stay stealing away some popcorn chicken as well. So this tower does fall down. We'll see whether they can transition into anything else. Looks like backs are going to come down. So, in the end, honestly, I mean, it's not much of a gold differential picked up here for KMV.
In the end, that trade was definitely very much in their favor. They're still at a deficit, but we'll get to see what happened in the mid lane.
Yeah, that is a big old flash Nethergrass. And Kira just kills Plugo.
And unfortunately, that is just what this team is going to be able to do at any stage of the game. Is if you're left alone, they're going to be able to pick up these kills.
Is this a 1v1 right now?
Oh,
okay, the
God,
Fox is able to take down Licrit. That's what? But why?
This is what I wanted to see from the Fox. This man pretty much put KMV on his back to get to this tournament. Of course,
are you celebrating that he was able to 1v1 the support?
He 1v1 the support. He 1v1 the support with a curtain call bearing down on him.
Hey, that's true.
And
that is true.
I mean, still a good display of mechanics there to close that out. And honestly, Licrit is looking a little frustrated right now, and he needs to pull it together because while he has been an amazing playmaker, he's missed 2 Cosmic Binding follow-ups from the Tempered Fate, and now he's dropping a few kills here. And while the Lee Sin kill really wasn't his fault, that one was definitely him overstepping.
Yes, I would certainly say so as well. As maybe, the Bard's just been banned way too many times. Hasn't been practicing it. As in goes Juliusito, looking to try and steal away this Mountain Drake. I'm not sure whether he's going to be able to as PvP Steos. He's going to get kicked, but flat out does not care.
And unfortunately, that's just the Lee syndrome. It kicks in.
Plugo turns Golden Tempered Fate. He's going to be able to lock him down. There's the combo of CC. Plugo does fall. Kira falls in answer, though, as the Fox able to get some Qs over the side. A Miracle trying to catch up to the Bear, who's running very quickly. Teleport came in as Smurf is going to join the fight. Element is here off the back end as well. That was a cheeky little bent barrel, but not going to find anyone with it.
Made a triangle. It looked pretty.
It looked very pretty. I was confused as to where it was going.
Honestly, the Fox has been exactly where he's needed to be, and better fallout from Licrit this time, but still very much on the front lines, and it's very risky against this sort of composition to be so far up. Does continue to trade back and forth in terms of blows, and the gold lead staying around 2K, and this is a solid spot for KMV to be. They're going to continue to scale up. They're going to have the Gangplank, the Ziggs, the Ezreal. This is good for them.
Yeah. Bearing down on 20 minutes in as well, so we're getting past this mid-game, past the troughs. Element does have his Trinity Force almost towards the Maw of Malmortius, as there was a fight breaking out, but let's have a look at this replay.
We're going to look at this one. So Ziggs does manage to get this out. Licrit takes a ton of damage, but the issue is that the Fox is just sitting there, hitting Malzahar in the back of the head for the entire duration of that fight, and Gragas and Jhin just don't have any more reliable CC to be able to lock the Karma down. She's too mobile. You get to see some fancy plays coming in from the Gangplank at the end.
Well, no one's dead as we return to Summoner's Rift, so that's good. Didn't miss out on too much. Nice kick. Does a fair bit of damage to Licrit, but there's the Nethergrasp, and Bear, is super dead. Plugo is going to get caught by the Tempered Fate. Licrit, if he can do anything, he can certainly land that one as the Fox gets over. But Plugo does fall down after picking up one.
Plugo
nicely
has
done.
One mission in life. Well, we might see a little bit more.
That is to kill someone, maybe. As Smurf gets over the side, takes half the health off the Fox and regrets his decision, halting himself back out.
Plugo really loves killing Licrit. I think if there's one thing that we've learned here, every time he realizes he's going to die,
and Licrit loves ulting Plugo. As Juliusito is going to get body slammed. Smurf picks up the kill. That combo was fantastic out of Steos, who gets himself out as well. KMV now underneath their turret, but are they even going to be safe there is the question.
They have a decent amount of wave clear with the Ezreal. Ziggs will be on the way back soon. Will not have the ultimate, unfortunately, so they got to respect the potential here for a dive. Gangplank more than enough, though.
Yeah, those barrels really able to clear things out.
And just, looking across the board here, KMV are making mistakes, but it's going okay for them so far. They're continuing to lose out. I really love the proactive play coming in from Albus NoX, but the issue is between Ziggs, Gangplank, and Ezreal, there's simply too much wave clear for them to be able to capitalize on single picks or on trading one for one, which has been consistently the case.
Yeah. And I actually hadn't thought about it like that. Barrels plus the bouncing bombs from Ziggs, it's going to have to be a siege out of Albus NoX. And I just don't know whether they're going to be able to. They'll need to dive so quickly.
They have really good tools in the Gragas to try to force people out, but they can also opt to kind of split their pressure, because the biggest issue is that with all this wave clear, really the lack of viability for Ziggs to be put in a side lane, they should be able to set up a decent 1-3-1 or alternatively look to force objectives where I think they can have the edge in team fights. But KMV not looking scared whatsoever, are just moving to the mid lane.
Another flash Nethergrass comes in as the Fox, actually knocked out of it by the Tempered Fate, is going to still get shot down. That was a bit cute, though, as the Bear now trying to run away. Oh, the minefield is going to force the flash. PvP Sales gets the slow onto Plugo. Smurf is dominating as he takes down Bear. The Cosmic Binding from Liquid. He's got his eye in now, Sifa. Locks that one down. Element now exhausted. Silence. Everything. Hit by a sync.
And just really amazing
and that was
play
4v5.
And it's just, they used all of their abilities together. Their CC was chained magnificently. They took Ezreal out without the safety that the Iceborne Gauntlet provided. They didn't have any good way to kite. And now, yes, KMV are trying to get some blows back. But you can see Albus NoX are unafraid.
Yeah, an Element is going to fall down. That's going to be the Malefic Visions picking that one up after the turret was destroyed by Kira as well. 4-1-4 now on the Malzahar. 15-7 in kills. All of a sudden, I feel like this has all happened in the last 5 minutes.
And this is all it takes. They get one winning team fight. They have so much raw power right now, and Fox is finally backing up, but Kira is going to walk in and ult him one more time.
Yeah, the slow is going to come down. The deadly flourish is there. Kira was in turret range, which was a problem, as the Fox is going to stand behind Bear, but that's just going to spell his death, and Liquid grabs the kill with a Meep Slap.
Meep Slap, nice sidestep from the Fox, not to get locked up there and taken down, but
Human shield? That's not okay. That is
not
not ethical.
And this is the thing that is absolutely terrifying, is now that the gold lead is this massive, the only thing that KMV have going for them at this point is wave clear. And wave clear is wonderful, but they're never going to be able to contest a Baron realistically, short of ANX really grouping up or mispositioning. But I just can't see that happening, and it's going to be very easy for ANX to contest a Baron if they want to. You can already see there's a level difference between the Gragas and the Lee Sin, something that we shouldn't usually see, but honestly, PvP Steos has just been absolutely everywhere across the map. And you can see still ahead in gold despite the small difference in farm here.
Yeah. And all of the kills basically have been on Liquid. Otherwise, there's only 3 out of the 8.
Yeah, and I think Liquid's, despite some early missteps, has been playing better. Of course, the chain coming in on the Tempered Fate was bad when he initially interrupted the Gragas cask, but he does follow it up with a perfect Cosmic Binding. It's a good sign moving forward, as that's going to be key for them to keep these fights in their favor.
Yeah. Steos is going to find a little scrying all board. IWCQ now standing with Bear. They know that there's no ward here in this brush, but you mentioned Baron control. KMV have at least been able to get themselves towards this area, but I feel like Albus NoX, they have some time now. They can get some farm, take down this Mountain Drake possibly, and then move towards that Baron and take that so incredibly fast. With Malzahar double Mountain Drake, he could almost do it by himself.
I honestly may just be able to, but I just think that KMV are in a really tough spot. They are too far behind in gold to really be able to contest in a full-on 5v5 teamfight. And additionally, they really need QSSs here. They need the Quicksilver Sash if they want to be able to get out a lot of these exchanges. There's so many things that can start fights off, but they don't have the gold. They don't have the money. You can see the Fox may be building towards one now, but it's going to put him behind in terms of damage. Ziggs is not going to have the opportunity to get one for a long time, and Karma doesn't have enough gold to pick up any alternatives. So this is
just rough. It feels rough.
And the only solution here for KMV is a mistake from Albus NoX, or alternatively time. They need more time to scale up. They need really anything to kind of relieve the pressure here. But you see Julio Stito, he has no control over his own jungle, and he's roaming in. This is maybe looking for the steal.
Yeah, he's going to come down, so they do know that this Baron is going on. You can see PvP Sales just standing out of that circle of death. Hey, Miracle cutting this one back around. IWCQ does get in. There's the Tempered Fate. As can they actually lock down the Baron? And they do. And IWCQ comes out of stasis and says, where did it go?
Ziggs Bomb coming over the wall. They were close to taking that one away, but a solid contest. And now the fight afterwards.
Call. Oh, no. Plugo's going to get slowed down and destroyed by the last bullet. A Miracle able to take that one down. Bear now trying to kite this one out. Smurf connects with the phase dive. IWCQ now waiting in the wings.
The Fox.
Possibly looking for a fancy play, but it's not going to happen yet. Can it happen now? No, not quite yet, as the Fox is going to fall. Smurf grabs the double. Liquid turns up. A Miracle joins up with him. It was a cute little Dragon's Rage kick. But, I mean, if that's all you had to offer, that's just not going to be enough there from IWCQ.
And this is just an impossible fight now. They do not have any way to stop the Echo from just running rampant into their back line.
He's 8-0-3.
And there's just nothing Ezreal can do. You saw it in that fight. Even if he has decent positioning, Smurf is just going to leap on top of him.
He's so fast.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Dead Man's Plate.
Yeah, and Z-Drive Resonance is just so silly in these fights where he can just proc all of those hits.
Yeah, and this is the issue. Unfortunately for KMV, the time is essentially up for them. They need to make a massive play immediately, but it's not going to happen.
Well, Satchel Charge did come back there as Ilyasito caught by the Tempered Fate as well as the Cosmic Binding as Element silenced. Does flash his way out, though, after it was done. Inhibitor does fall in the mid lane and the top lane. And the Baron buff is going to keep pushing this one through. Can they actually finish the game here is the question, as the Fox has turned back up again. Kira taking actually a fair bit of damage from that. Oh my god. Okay, yep. Smurf is just going to tear him apart. 9-0-4 now for the Echo. Cannon Barrage is in, but there are still minions. One more Nexus turret remains. Kira flashes. Not sure why. Probably just for fun. The celebratory flash. I appreciate it. Nexus now is bare as Smurf is heading back to base. Just attack the Nexus, Mr. Smurf, as he then ults his way back through. And that is going to be the Nexus falling down. Congratulations to ANX as they take down Kaos Latin Gamers. But unfortunately, that's 0-6. And their opportunities for victory are dwindling.
And a very rough tournament coming in from KMV, but overall an absolutely masterful performance coming in from Albus NoX. Surprisingly, KMV able to make some impressive moves in the early game, but Albus NoX, all the while we're seeing those fights in the bottom lane, Echo is up there demolishing the top lane, and you can see why they are putting priority on that pick over the Gnar, because honestly, Smurf just looked like a monster in those few final fights.
Yeah, he most certainly did. And I mean, that was where they invested. That was where PvP Steos was. That's what they were trying to achieve, is make sure that Smurf could win out in his lane and then transition into diving that backline, destroy the very slippery Ezreal, and make sure that Ziggs can't just kite us out. And if that was what they tried to do, they most certainly achieved it. 9-0-4 at the end, and the Echo is just a beast.
The Echo was unstoppable, and I think once again the story for Chaos Latin Gamers this tournament is that they take risks in picks and bans. However, I mean, we finally see them comfortable in the early laning phase. This is a good look with the Ezreal, but it does not transition as well as they need it to, because the reality is there's just so much pick potential on this Albus NoX side that the scaling composition doesn't work out for them. And Plugo, you know, I love seeing the Ziggs.
Yeah, it's
I
cute.
love watching you fight Voidlings. It is cute, but it is unfortunately not very effective.
And the really sad thing is that once again, we understood what this composition was trying to do. It was like that cool Venn diagram, let's just layer our circles on top of each other type situation. But it was honestly ANX that was doing that. There was no Mega Inferno Bomb Barrage Cannon situation at all.
No, and I think that just it was never realistically going to happen short of a massive lead or over
I
the
don't
middle.
know. I think
into
you'd
a late
still
game.
press your R buttons at the same time. That's what I wanted to see.
Would it have been effective for the team?
I don't know.
Potentially effective.
I just wanted to see those ultimates on top of each other. See if like, is that so hard?
No, that's not hard. But winning the game with this composition, unfortunately,
looks
is
very hard.
And I mean, just a rough road for Chaos Latin Gamers. It is unfortunately only one more opportunity to find a win this tournament. And at this point, it's just for pride. You can see there, even in the end, Fox had just given up hope. He wasn't even walking anymore.
Yeah.
But Albus NoX going to continue to be a top contender for the top here.
And also, I mean, this is 3-1 now for the team. They have one more game tonight. Can get them to that 4-1 stage, lock down that second position.
And this is really nitpicky, but I think for a team that's looking to stay on top, they have to reevaluate some of their early decision-making. Their bottom lane really got over-aggressive a few times, and additionally Liquid, despite having monstrous Tempered Fates on multiple occasions. Also, I just feel like the communication wasn't quite there.
Yeah, made a lot of the fumbles here as well. I mean, 2 and 5 wasn't necessarily the scoreline that he was looking for. So, I mean, congratulations to ANX, but there are definitely still things that they need to work on. It's not like looking at Lion Gaming, who are honestly feeling like every position is going off.
Yeah, Lion I think, are so far above and away the best team in this tournament. And they're not really I think they're going to be contested as we move forward by Albus NoX. I think that Albus NoX is another top team, but what we've seen from Albus NoX is some over-aggressive moves, some over-aggressive decisions, and it's going to be interesting to see if they're able to kind of change their thinking on some of these things, improve some of those hiccups, or if these, honestly, those small mistakes could cost them so much against a team like Lion.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to throw it to a short break. When we get back, game number 4 here for the IWCQ. Don't go anywhere.